Okay, our fourth inductee here tonight is Sean Hazelton, and his history, and I can tell you, as the father of three daughters, the appreciation has just continued to grow to anybody that has helped start terrific programs for young girls, for young women to get into sports at levels that maybe they never could. So, Sean, congratulations on that terrific work, and congratulations on a great honor. Welcome to the Amateur Hockey Hall of Fame.
I'm not wearing a dress this year when Afton beats Chesterfield. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Scotty. And thanks to the St. Louis Amateur Hall of Fame. I'm excited and humbled to be recognized with this amazing group of current and past inductees. I have so many people to thank, starting first and foremost with my mom and dad. We grew up in a very small two-bedroom house in Webster Groves. My two brothers and I shared a room growing up, and money was always tight, so three boys playing hockey was always a huge financial burden. But somehow, some way, my parents always figured out a way to make it work. Dr. Bill Sheffield, he was our first coach at Webster Groves, and honestly one of the most influential people in my young life. He was positive, energetic, enthusiastic, and went way above and beyond what any squirt coach of a bunch of beginners should do. He was the perfect person for a bunch of newbies and really set my hockey roots. I just fell in love with the sport because of him, and to this day, I still get on the ice and teach small kids the fundamentals of exactly what he taught us. Unfortunately, neither Dr. Sheffield or my dad are alive today, but I think both would be proud to know how much they shaped me as a young kid. After a neck injury in 1987, my playing days came to an end, and I figured my hockey life did as well. But years later, I was asked to help coach a midget team at Afton, and from that moment on, I was hooked all over again. Coaching filled that hockey void that I had lost years earlier. Afton Midgets and the Afton Hockey Club changed my life. As a player, I only experienced my last 2 years of midgets with the club, but I felt at home from the day my dad brought us all over as kids. Afton is my home. It's blue collar, and it's old school. It's an organization built from the ground up by really good, hardworking, dedicated hockey families. Families like the Josts and the Winters, the Krogans and the Staubs, the Murrays and the Jacobys, the Jysons and the Eggeters. People like Jackie Haas, George Dalton, and Turner Hutchison, all vital families that helped mold Afton hockey and local youth hockey as we know it today. By 1997, our midgets began to experience regional success, and looking to get better, we joined forces with the Central States Development Hockey League in the year 2000 and gained national success soon thereafter. The Central States Development Hockey League allowed us to compete with some of the best teams in the country on a weekly basis. It gave us an opportunity to play really good hockey, and it bridged the gap between AA and AAA hockey. Kids, for whatever reason, whether it be financial, personal, or maybe just weren't ready to play AAA hockey at the time, it allowed them the opportunity to play a better brand of hockey, and in turn created a better hockey in St. Louis and better opportunities for local kids when it came to leave St. Louis. Central States as a league changed midget hockey in the United States. It was a who's who of nationally ranked teams. You could lose the Central States Championship and yet still be in the running to win the national championship. I'm proud to say there aren't many Tier 2 midget teams, if any, in the United States that can say they have three former players who played in the NHL and won the Stanley Cup. Two as players, Brandon Bolig with Chicago, Patrick Maroon with the Blues, and the pride of Afton hockey, Joey Vitale, as the announcer of the St. Louis Blues. Suffice to say, I owe a lot to a lot of people. Mike Krogan, Dan Winter, Jackie Haas, Mr. Jost, Carl Wordle, Brian Gardner. They all allowed me to stub my toes and the freedom to make mistakes along the way. Though at times they scratched their heads wondering why they did, but they supported me through and through and let me do what I do to see it through. Thanks to my wife, Colleen, my boys, John, Sam, Andrew, and Matthew, my brothers, Mike and Brian Hazelton. Last but not least, thanks to Kevin McGlynn and Chris Flogger, the absolute two hardest working people in amateur hockey today. Thank you.